All right. Hey, everybody. I am going to try something a little different today because of the snowstorm that's coming. And I'm going to make today's what was going to be our just party potluck, whatever we were going to call it. That's going to be optional. I'll show up. You can still come if you want to. But this way, I get all of the information that you need right now so you don't have to worry about it later. All right. So let's talk about the SWOT analysis. And let me pull this up. All right, kind of the main thing to keep in mind with this is a couple things. I want you to basically do a strength, weakness, opportunities, threats analysis for the company that you chose. And in particular, I want you to focus on their social media offerings. The example that I use in class typically with this is the color run. So the color run was started by one of my best friends growing up, Heidi, and she married a guy that she met at school named Travis Snyder, and they basically put the color run together. This would have been like 15 years ago or something. And it was super successful, like between 5 and 8 years ago, Color Run was like the big running event in the country. And they did pretty well for themselves. So that's great. But ever since then, they've kind of slipped off the map. They had lots of competitors and knockoffs and all of these other companies trying to basically piggyback off of what they had created. And as a result of that, they've kind of seen that the appeal of their runs kind of fade. But for our purposes, we can go through and basically we can go through their social media offerings and see what they're doing well and what they might be able to do better. So if I just go, I don't even know that they're on Twitter, but I'm just going to check this out real quick. If I go into search and do Color Run. The Color Run, there we go. And they've got a ton of them. So Color Run, what's that, South Africa? Color Run South Africa. So again, if I pull this up and you can kind of see what they've done and what their social media looks like there. I mean, this is pretty cool. I mean, you probably can't tell, but that's a dog with color on it. So that's pretty impressive. But this is just like basically it's a subsidiary, a Twitter account for just South Africa. And I could go through this and do some analysis of what they're doing well, what they might be able to improve. Here's one of their sponsored posts, and apparently people are getting married at color runs in South Africa. Who knew? That was just this summer. Now, that's what I'm noticing is that there aren't that many of these that are recent. And so I guess that makes sense. This is the color run in South Africa. So it's not like they're doing a color run every week in South Africa. But if I was going through and doing a strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, I think you could kind of see where I would go with this. The strengths are that it's a strong brand presence, the knockoffs and other kind of up and coming color type runs that want to be like them don't have the same appeal. Their crowds aren't as big. I mean, there's a number of problems with those companies. The weakness is that people aren't as interested in the color run. It kind of ran its course. It was fun for a couple of years. Lots of people did it, but it was going to end eventually. They tried to spruce it up last year or 2 years ago by making it like the color run, the glitter version. And so they had glitter runs, which sounds like to a lawyer, like so frightening. Someone's going to get glitter in their eye or something. Opportunities, you could kind of build on that, maybe have like in the running world right now, color run was cool for a while. It was like when everybody was running, the color runs aren't timed, so that's great. But now it's kind of moved into a more competitive time. So as far as opportunities, make a color run world championship where they're actually timed anyway, you can pull in elite runners. That I'm just kind of shooting from the hip here, but you see what I'm doing. So that's an opportunity. And then threats would be, again, other companies trying to compete in that segment. And anyway, you can see what I'm doing. What I want you to do is pick your company. Again, if you want to change your company for this, that's fine with me. But I think that's really kind of what I want to see with this. So pick a company and observe their different avenues of social media. So get on the Facebook page, check out their Twitter. You can also kind of see what they're doing with Pinterest sometimes. That can be helpful. Facebook, Twitter. What else is there? I'm missing stuff, but you know, like get on Snapchat, just the different avenues that they use for social media. And the way you're going to do this is you're going to have I'm just going to draw this out for you so you can kind of see what it is that we want. And I'm going to send you all just kind of an example from one of my former students. But basically what this will look like, just make a diagram with 4 boxes, something like this. And you can list on there like 2 to 3 strengths, 2 to 3 weaknesses. Remember, not of the company itself. This is their social media SWOT analysis. And so, yeah, look at that. The strengths could be the brand image, the cash reserves, anything like that. Cash reserves, you wouldn't really be able to tell on the social media, but you know what I'm saying. And let me change this a little bit. I think this will help you. You can do just a regular SWOT analysis of the company itself. So then you could do, like, one of the strengths is that it's loaded with cash, flush with cash, that it has a strong user base, heavy following, stuff like that. That's more for the brand and not necessarily just focused in on the social media aspect of the company. But then what I would do at that point is right below this, write just a paragraph or 2 about ideas that you have for the company's social media future. And maybe argue which social media platform would be best for that specific company. If it's color run, it's probably going to be Instagram. That's the other one I wasn't thinking of a second ago. Make it focused in on Instagram because, the color run was basically made for Instagram when you think about it. Talk about it really just, I think that's probably the best thing for this assignment. Like I said, I'm going to, when I post this video, I'll also post an example from a former student so you can see what's going on here. But as you can see, this is kind of a fun and less time-intensive assignment than we've had in the past, which is why I thought it was great for Thanksgiving week. This is something you should be able to knock out in an hour at the most. Have fun with it. Get a lot of insights from the social media presence of the company that you've chosen, and then just kind of synthesize it into a 1-page document that outlines kind of where the end result of this is that you're going to talk about where you think the company should focus and what they should do on a specific social media platform. All right, I hope that gives you some clarification, some clarity on this assignment, and good luck, and I will see you all next week, if not today at the potluck.